a groundbreaking new study has discovered a drug that restores movement in mice after a stroke. And I know what you're thinking. Great, another mouse study that won't have any implications for actual human stroke survivors. Or Elise, didn't you just make a video about how supplements really aren't that helpful after stroke? Let me address this up front. So yes, while they have currently only tested this drug in mice, the mechanism that they've identified is the same as in human stroke recovery. And this drug isn't a supplement. It's targeted pharmaceutical research that mimics the brain changes that happen with physical rehabilitation. The study's lead author, Dr. Tom Carmichael, and his team wanted to understand how physical rehab, like occupational and physical therapy, improved brain function after a stroke, and whether or not they could create a drug that would cause the same effects. And so that's exactly what they did. They looked at mice in a lab and found that after a stroke, there were neurons that became disconnected from each other. Because of this, the neurons don't fire together, which means that the mice had difficulty with movement. Researchers also found out that some of those lost connections happen in cells called parvalbumin neurons, or PV neurons. PV neurons help link neurons together through specific brain rhythms called gamma oscillations. And I know I'm throwing a lot of terms out at you here, but hang with me, this is important. These gamma oscillations are what allow neurons to form these coordinated networks. So when they're working together, this ultimately produces movements. You may have heard the phrase, when neurons fire together, they wire together. Now we understand why this happens. So what's really interesting is that physical rehab, like with traditional therapy, in both lab mice and in humans, can produce these gamma oscillations, and specifically in mice, repair those lost connections between PV neurons. So in addition to looking at the underlying neurological mechanism of why physical rehab works, the researchers also tested 2 different drugs on mice to see if they could mimic the effects of physical rehab. So what did they find out? So there were 2 primary findings. The first is that the researchers identified brain areas and underlying pathophysiology that is affected by physical rehab. So we have this better understanding now of how physical rehab affects the brain via the excitation of these PV neurons and the production of gamma oscillations. So hopefully this means that in the future, we're going to have better studies of how to provide more effective occupational and physical therapy for stroke survivors. But the second primary, very exciting finding is that one of the drugs the researchers looked at, called DDL-920, was found to produce significant forelimb movement in mice after stroke. It did so by mimicking the effects of physical rehab, like we just talked about with the PV neurons and gamma oscillations. So what does all of this mean for stroke survivors right now? I reached out to Dr. Tom Carmichael, who very kindly took the time to answer several of my questions. And not only was he one of the authors in this study, but he is also a professor and chair of UCLA Neurology. So the first question I asked was, has the role of PV neurons and gamma oscillations in stroke recovery been previously understood, or is this a novel finding? And he said, this is a new finding, which is very exciting, because the more that we understand about stroke recovery, the better we can treat it. The second question was, is this the first time research has attempted to produce gamma oscillations via a drug after a stroke? And he said, yes, the concept of gamma oscillations has received quite a bit of research and clinical trial activity in Alzheimer's disease. So you've probably heard of something like this before, where when 2 things share a similar or shared pathophysiology, aka why they happen in the body, that means that some type of treatment might be used to actually treat both. And we can take a very relevant real-life example. I'm sure you've heard of GLP-1 agonist drugs like Ozempic or Wegovy. Ozempic was a drug that was originally used to manage diabetes, and it still is. But both of these drugs have now been attributed very widely to weight loss to help reduce hunger drive, right? So even though it was created for one purpose, it has these other purposes that it now gets prescribed for. The third question I asked was, would a stroke survivor need to combine this new drug with traditional stroke rehab, like occupational or physical therapy? And he responded, yes, most likely. So likely just taking the drug by itself is not going to be enough. And we can think about this in terms of the GLP-1 drugs as well. So if you start taking those GLP-1 injections or a pill, you will start to notice some weight loss and likely a decrease in your hunger drive. However, if you're eating exactly the same way you were before or living a very sedentary lifestyle, you're probably not going to see those results as quickly as if you were changing your diet to a healthier diet and moving a bit more. The fourth question I asked was, could this drug be beneficial for chronic stroke survivors or only beneficial for those in the early stages of stroke recovery? Because this study only looked at mice shortly after they had their stroke. So he said, we plan to test this. Right now, this is sort of an unknown. The fifth question was, are there any known risks or side effects with taking this type of drug? And he said, we don't know. Question 6 was, does stroke type, ischemic versus hemorrhagic, influence whether this treatment would be effective? And he said, we developed this drug and the understanding of its action in ischemic stroke. So I don't know if there are plans to test this with hemorrhagic stroke survivors at some point, but currently as it stands right now, they're looking at ischemic stroke. Question 7, are there plans for human trials? And if so, what's a realistic timeline for clinical use? And he said, we have to do more research to get this to the human trial stage. So not really sure at this point. Question 8. Since this was tested on forelimb recovery in mice, do you see potential for this drug to impact other functions like lower limb recovery, spasticity, cognition, or speech? He said, we think that it will likely work in other aspects of motor recovery in stroke. We have no data or expectations for cognitive or language recovery. And last question was, might this approach be beneficial for survivors of multiple strokes or only for first-time strokes? And he said it could be beneficial, but we would have to test for this. Before we move on, a huge thank you to Dr. Carmichael for taking time out of his very busy schedule to answer my many questions so that I could share them with you. So here are my takeaways and why I'm still really excited about this new development, even though we're in very early stages and we don't know a ton just yet. So this study offers some really promising results in that we have a better understanding of the neurological mechanism of how movement is restored with physical rehabilitation. And like I said before, this could lead to breakthroughs in the way that occupational and physical therapy is performed in the future to get better results for stroke survivors. Another takeaway is that while this drug has only been examined in mice, we have to realize that animal studies are how most drugs eventually make it to human clinical trials, right? These companies, these pharmaceutical companies, have to start somewhere. And this is our somewhere. This is where we're starting. We see the potential for some really cool outcomes. So even though we're not there yet, there is huge potential. And my last takeaway is that while there are a lot of things that we don't know, like are there any potential side effects, who it's going to be most beneficial for, and what the timeline is going to be for it to actually be on the market, we do know that it's pretty groundbreaking. We know that even though it's in early stages, it's still offering this glimmer of hope for the future. And this has the potential to change the way that we think about stroke recovery. Please leave me a comment and let me know if you want to see more videos like this, where I cover new stroke recovery news and research. And as always, a huge thank you to all of the donors who make this nonprofit possible, with a special thank you to Heather G, Ryan D, Modus Nova, and Joseph M, and our Empowerer tier on Patreon. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.